reporting.
Steve Kathan, the acting administrator of the TSA, spells it out. Airport security officers need to be paid and new ones need to be recruited.
As the shutdown drags on, we fear we will continue to lose talented and experienced employees to other jobs that can provide a steady paycheck. At this point, newly hired officers will not be able to work on the checkpoint until well after the 2026 FIFA World Cup. This is a dire situation.
Ha Nguyen McNeil appearing before a House committee. Correspondent Nicole Skanga is at one of the airports where security lines have been the longest, Houston's Bush Airport.
DHS has surged some extra personnel, including ICE officers who have been helping direct traffic and hand out water, but really it's those TSA officers that are the ones screening passengers, looking at the X-ray machines, and observing any security anomalies. And they have been calling out at high rates, particularly here in Houston, where the TSA sick-out rate on Monday was around 36%.
There's word Iran has rejected the 15-point U.S. plan to end the war. CBS's Natalie Brand.
According to a state TV broadcast, it's essentially rejecting the 15-point proposal by the U.S., although an anonymous source was cited. And it's really unclear at this point, remains unclear, who the White House's negotiating team is speaking to, other than the president again saying that it is not the supreme leader.
Earlier, President Trump ordered additional American troops to the region. American Dennis Coyle is back in the U.S. after being held in Afghanistan for more than a year. His sister says,
"There's been so many people praying and supporting our family, and from the bottom of our hearts, we thank everybody for this day."
It was never clear why Coyle was detained. Episcopalians in the U.S. and others in the Anglican Church around the world have a new groundbreaking leader.
I'm Vicky Barker in London. Like the 105 before her, the 106th Archbishop knocked 3 times on the door of Canterbury Cathedral, symbolizing that Sarah Mullally was coming as a servant of her congregants, not their master. Prince William and Kate were among the 2,000 watching the elevation of this, the first female Archbishop of Canterbury in Church of England history. More than 300 mostly African bishops boycotted the ceremony, among those still opposed to the ordination of women.
NBA owners have voted to explore expansion to Las Vegas and Seattle. Wall Street, right now the Dow is up 311 points. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Check. It's 9:03 and time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. And here's Chris Sullivan.
And we are doing okay, Amanda, as we kind of reach our the end of the morning commute here. We have some brake lights here and there. Nothing super significant, but if you're coming down from the north end, you're going to have about an hour and 20-minute trip still from the Everett area down into Seattle or down into Bellevue. We've got about an hour of that just away from the Linwood area. Coming up from the south end, I'm starting to see some extra braking right around 167 as you try to make your way in from about 180th, and also some southbound slowing there too. So plan on about a 42-minute trip to go from Puyallup to Renton. Olympia to Tacoma is only 30 minutes. And then Federal Way to Seattle's back down to about 45. So we're cruising okay there till you get up to about the north end of Boeing Field. Across the lake, we've got no issues for you guys. Looking much, much better now trying to get into through Port Orchard and around the corner in Gorst. 18 a little slowing as we make our way up over the top of Tiger Mountain. But other than that, we're doing okay. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
It's now 9:04. I'm Amanda Factor. Breaking news this morning we've been following for the past hour or so, involving the NBA and a possible return to Seattle and also a team in Vegas. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has been following this and joins us live.
Amanda, what a huge story for the city. It's been 18 years since the Supersonics left Seattle we won't mention the city where they went and all of that. No need to, because this vote by the NBA Board of Governors that happened just this morning, it was anticipated that it would happen this morning, opens the door for the bidding process now to start to bring an NBA team possibly back to Seattle, also Las Vegas. Now, the deal is It's this move is exclusive to those two cities, Las Vegas and Seattle only. And what that means is, well, it's kind of like selling your house. They're going to collect bids from ownership groups, individuals, families, most likely private equity firms as well. See what they have. It's expected the franchises could go between $7 and $10 billion. After they collect those, they'll look at those, analyze it. If they like it, they'll move forward with another vote later on this year to approve the sale of those teams, which means that we are even closer to getting the Sonics back here in Seattle. Again, a huge development, and the word is from sources at ESPN that owners want this to happen. It's a matter of when, not if, the Sonics are coming back. Again, it's the process that has kickstarted here this morning, but a big vote by the NBA Board of Governors to start the bidding and exploration process to see who might be interested in purchasing and bringing a franchise back to Seattle. The Supersonics are one step closer to coming home. Amanda?
Luke Ducey, thank you very much. The King County Council passed an ordinance to ban U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement from staging or operating on county-owned property. KIRO 7's Jake Chapman reports it got so heated during public comment, the meeting was moved to an online-only session.
But clearly the tension didn't go away.
I am afraid of getting deported. I am undocumented. But at the end of the day, my friends are getting kidnapped when they are just driving to work.
King County Council was scheduled to vote on an ordinance that would ban ICE from staging or operating on King County property, which applies to all parks, parking lots, any space that is used by the county.
A check on our forecast this morning at 9:06. What a beautiful morning. We're seeing a mix of sun and clouds. Things are going to change throughout the day, though. We'll see some clouds roll in, possibility of some showers for the afternoon drive. A high today of 49. Right now, we're seeing sunshine in Seattle. It is currently 47 degrees. I'm Amanda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the G and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, what a beautiful day it is. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. And yes, the sun, is shining out today. I missed you, son. Ursula's going to be out today, but don't you guys worry. We got a full show today and a full house. Nick, good morning to you, good brother.
Good morning, man.
Good to see you. Paul, thank you for always doing what you do.
Happy to be here.
And then we got somebody shadowing Paul today. You will hear her voice from time to time. Ella, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. Don't worry, we'll have some fun today. Hey, we got a lot going on, so I'm going to get right to it. Let's get to the top stories of the day, brought to you by Pendergast Law. The NBA's Board of Governors, they made a big vote today, and you don't want to hear me talk about it. You want to hear KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey, because nobody does it better. Luke.
Well, that's very kind of you. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts.
Okay.
And we certainly want to hear what you have to say about this.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
So this vote that happened to this morning,
yes.
The NBA Board of Governors, what this does is it kickstarts the NBA's 32-team expansion process. It's not a done deal. It's the process. What does that mean? Well, according to ESPN, multiple high-ranking officials have termed this expansion as when, not if it's going to happen, but when. And what they're going to be doing now is the NBA will look at bids for two teams, one in Las Vegas and one right here in Seattle, nowhere else, exclusively at these two locations. That's it. They'll look at those bids over the next several months. If they like what they see in here, they will vote again to approve the new franchise purchases, and they will also decide if they expand right away or in a few years. Talk from those sources, though, is they would like to see a team from both of those cities, both of those teams, up and running by 2028. Think about it like this. You just put your house on the market.
Okay.
It's the weekend has come and gone. Here
Yes.
we are on Tuesday, and your realtor has come to you with all the bids from that open house that you had over the weekend. That's where we are in this process. Now, you could decide to move forward with one of those bids and sell to someone like the highest bidder, or you can always take your house off the market, but in this case, when we're talking about the NBA, not likely that they will take it off the market because Las Vegas, let's be honest, is a big draw for the NBA. They
Yes.
want a team in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And, of course, the NBA ownership group and the Board of Governors, which are basically owners, they also love, apparently, Seattle as a market for the NBA.
Well, speaking of that, and speaking of buyers, and since there's going to be a bid right now, so we're going to find out who locally here in Seattle or maybe someone outside of Seattle who wants to be the one to put that money up for an NBA team. First, my question to you is how much? How much would an NBA team, you think you want the Sonics? How much would it be, sir?
You're going to be paying, according to a lot of analysts, anywhere between $7 and $10 billion. It's a lot of money.
Okay.
So who can pay for that?
Okay, yes.
Who can do that? Well, billionaires can, of course, but this is most likely going to be a billionaire, maybe an individual or a family who will own at least 30% of the team. They have to own at least 30%. They will probably buy 50 or more percent to be majority owners, and they will have to pay most of that in cash. You can't buy this franchise.
You can't put it to American Express card?
You cannot put it on Amex. I don't think Amex wants to deal with that anyway.
Okay, because I want to get the points. So you can't get the points?
Points for life. I don't know what they could give you.
Okay.
So it'll be a mix of that and most likely private equity firms. The NBA likes and they welcome private equity firms that can own up to 30% of a team, but only 20% per individual firm. So, in other words, if you had two private equity firms involved in this purchase, one could own 20%, the other could own 10%.
So just recently, as a matter of fact, I think a day or two ago, today's Wednesday, I think it was Monday, the ownership group of the Seattle Kraken, led by Samantha Holloway, had announced a majority agreement when it comes to that. They're saying basically they made an ownership transition that designed to enable the pursuit of future opportunities. And so One Roof Sports and Entertainment will become the majority owner of Climate Pledge Arena, and the OVG, that group, will still maintain a significant minority stake. Luke, can you help us better understand that play?
Well, it's very interesting. When it happened on Monday, I think we all kind of went, what's that all about? Obviously that was in anticipation of this vote coming. And we're expecting to hear from Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, a little later on this afternoon as well after this vote. So obviously that was in anticipation of this vote, that this process would move forward, positioning themselves and Climate Pledge Arena as, in just the best possible. Here's the deal. Let me make it real easy. Everyone now wants to make it a very soft landing spot for the NBA. Look at this. Soft pillow landing spot. This is no difficult decision here. Right. Everything's taken care of. We've got the infrastructure. We've got the stadium. We've got the workforce. Think about this. And we always think about $7-10 billion and who's going to buy this? Whoever buys this, we're talking about a lot of jobs for our area as well. We've got talking about a lot of new jobs that no one's even thought about. It's not just concessions and restaurants and things like that, and the bars and the local businesses around, but also the merchandise, but also all those marketing ideas right now that people have got floating around in their heads, and they're thinking, how can we now kind of use this moment to make a dream come true or expand their own, visions of creating their own business. It shouldn't just be about the Sonics, which it is. It's huge. But this is an opportunity for so many people in the region in so many different ways.
I got two more things, and you're hearing the voice of Luke Ducey, KIRO Radio's news reporter, the best in the world. Here's my one angle. We're bearing the lead here because I just said a second ago, this group led by Samantha Holloway, let me say that again, led by Samantha Holloway. So let's just say if they were to win the bid, are you telling me that we might have a majority owner that's a woman in the NBA?
How cool would that be? How cool would that be, a majority owner? We're seeing, and we should be quite frankly seeing this, but we are seeing, especially we've seen in the NFL with female coaches.
Yes.
Female ownership, of course, with our Seahawks, fantastic. But we're also seeing referees as well. We're seeing that in the NBA.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Women should have a bigger role in this. One thing that we should talk about, though, if you want to, things that are going against moving forward with this.
Okay.
Because this is going to come up this week. You're going to hear it today. You're going to hear it.
Oh, don't say it. Don't say the millionaire's tax.
We're going to touch on it. But think about this as well. The two new teams would dilute the owners' shares from 1 out of 30 teams to 1 out of 32 teams. So if you didn't know, what the NBA does is they divvy up all the money that's made from the NBA teams, and they divvy it up. And so they, if you're a business person or you're a part of that group, you want to maximize your profits, of course. Totally understandable. So you're going to hear a lot of talk about that, but you're also going to hear probably more talk about, yes, G, the new income tax on millionaires in our state. So I recently spoke with a finance expert who actually manages hundreds of $1 million deals and $1 billion deals. Okay. On average, an NBA franchise nets between $400 and $500 million a year. That's average because I think the Golden State Warriors kind of lead that charge. I think last year they made around $800 million net. That's all profit. The NBA is also expanding to Europe. They want and they have plans to build a new league there. A lot of talent coming out of Europe. All you got to do is turn on the TV and you're going to see a player from Europe in the NBA. So, number one, there are new money opportunities for NBA owners here with Europe and with, just more marketing opportunities as well. The millionaire's tax just becomes, at that point, a price of doing business. Hey, you want a franchise here in Seattle? Well, you're going to have to pay that tax. But, it's kind of like buying a McDonald's franchise. The reason McDonald's franchises cost so much is because you're guaranteed to sell Big Macs. People are going to line up in the drive-thru. If you buy an NBA franchise, you will be printing money guaranteed. That's why you will see people most likely lining up. And the NBA will love this even more if there's a bidding war driving up the cost past that $7 billion mark for a new NBA franchise possibly coming here to Seattle.
Well, Luke Ducey, before you leave, I'm going to send a homework assignment. And I think that I would want to know, and the people listening would want to know, one of the things that you just talked about, and I think this is huge. This will be a huge economic boost to Seattle. This is also a deal where we have seen office vacancies that have been happening downtown. We've seen people fight. Like, I don't want to go back to work 3 days a week. I don't want to do that. All those things. So here's my challenge to you. If you can head down to the local businesses at some point and let's get what they're thinking. Some of these businesses down here, when they hear this news, are they preparing for it? What are their thoughts about it? Does this make them more motivated to stay downtown Seattle, even though the taxes are outrageous? Those things. That's what a homework assignment I think you should do. You should go hear from the people.
Have you been talking to our managers? Because that's exactly what I'm doing when I leave your show. I am heading downtown and talking with the people.
You know I don't talk to your managers. I don't even talk to managers. Luke Ducey, man, we appreciate all of your efforts, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Hey, I gotta say some things about this, and I gotta call in my dogs, my young Gen Z, Paul and Nick, and all those. But first, let me just say this thing. Now, I have an uncle who. My Uncle Jesse, I love him. He's my father's brother. And I think that in every family, you have this uncle where there's always a conspiracy theory with them. And I realize that the older I get, I'm getting close to that way. But I will say, the only thing that I have found over especially the last 6 months, and we have been talking about this, is the amount of businesses that have not made it here in Seattle because it has been so tough for them. We have talked about the B&O tax. We have talked about that on top of gross receipts. And we just talked about how unfair that it has been for small to medium-sized businesses. And every single day, we're always talking about that one restaurant that you love or that one small business that you love going out of business. And my theory has been, and it really is now, that it has been hard for a reason. And I think it has been hard for a reason because, like always, I don't think that Seattle found out when we found out that we was going to get a team. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that job that you go to apply for, right? And you go to apply for that job on LinkedIn, and you got all these jobs you apply for. Now, the company, they post a job because they want to be fair, right? They want to make it look like it's fair, and they're going through an interview process. But the truth is, a lot of times that job already knows who's getting the job, but they just want to go through the steps, through the motions. That's how I feel about this. I just feel like, okay, we're just finding out. I do believe a decision has been made about an NBA team far before we, the public, found out. Hence the reason why I think these taxes have been outrageous. Hence the reason why they have made it hard for businesses to stick around. Because they have, I believe, have known what the plan is. I do believe we're going to be seeing all of these renovations. You guys have seen and heard about what's going to be happening at Seattle Center, what they're going to be doing to Memorial Stadium. Right? We all see what happened when the viaduct went down. That got gone away. And you see how beautiful that is. It's almost as if there has been a setup in preparation for an NBA team. I'm super excited for the jobs. I'm super excited for security, the vendors, the local businesses, the restaurants, the hotels, and potentially what this would mean if they would come. Also, I love the fact that this city will be in a national spotlight. We'll be on TV a lot of the time. There's so much positives that come, but yes, you are hearing a yeah, but. The negative part is it ain't going to get cheaper in Seattle. It's not going to get cheaper. So if you think things are expensive now, buckle up, because here it comes. Now, I only got 3 minutes left in this segment, and I got to show love to my people. Come on now, Paul. What you thinking?
I think this is great. I mean, ever since moving here, it's been clear that people are hungry for this team to come back. Obviously, we got a great WNBA team here in town that's been carrying the basketball legacy here. But you talk a lot about the jobs. You talk a lot about the deeper impacts of sports. It's now having all 4 of the major men's sports. There is a reason to come visit, you to plan a trip with if you're a fan of another team, you now have a full calendar year of events. Now, hockey was covering that, but with a little bit. But now that you have hockey, and if you have the WNBA and the NBA, you have pro sports going throughout the summer. Yeah. So mixed with, where do I want to go and visit in the summer? Yeah. Seattle, because it's beautiful. So sports it's a complicated thing, right? It's going to be very expensive to get in the door. I know those Sonics tickets are not, I think the high cost to get in there is definitely going to be a question. But man, there's a lot of opportunity for this to be a big boom for the city. And it's clear that the fans are ready to welcome the team back as well. And I think it's going to be very interesting, too, to see what this legacy of this version of the Sonics would be for the people around here.
Now, Nick, back in the day, I used to give you a hard time, and I want to apologize to you now. And what I used to give you a hard time about is I used to give you a hard time that, during the best heyday of the Mariners, the 95 slide and all those stuff, you didn't get to enjoy it. But, Nick, I got to tell you right now, you are having a time of your life. This might be some of the most exciting times in Seattle sports history. The Mariners went the furthest they've ever done. The Seahawks just won a Super Bowl. The announcement now of a team potentially coming back with the Sonics. And, oh, by the way, there's going to be a new owner of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, and you mentioned maybe you didn't get to live through the good times back in the day when I was just a baby, but now, arguably, might be the greatest time in Seattle sports history. Like you were mentioning, Seahawks won a bowl, the Mariners are the best that they've been in a long time, and now it's the emergence of the Sonics. But you brought up a good point where they're going through the official motions of getting this team warmed up to the fans, where they're not just all out saying, "Oh, we're bringing it back, we're bringing it back." They're gonna just say first, "Okay, we're going through the steps right now," and I think that's trying to be hesitant towards what this economic boom is going to be for the city, because like you said, things are going to get more expensive and there might be more jobs, but it's just simple supply and demand, where if there's more people that want to be going to games and going out in the town, I think the businesses I think are going to be taking more advantage of that. So I'm curious if they're going to be supporting the employees and the workers that are going to be bringing this city together and going through all that. So I'm hoping that the people who are getting paid will, be able to actually afford to go to the games, because I don't know. I feel like at the beginning of the season for the Sonics, it's going to be kind of high priced. So I'm curious who's going to be able to go to those games and how they're going to be able to let the people the middle, the working class be able to watch these things.
All right. You heard what Nick had to say. You heard what Paul had to say. I would love to hear what you have to say. 888-973-5476. There's a potential that the Sonics might be coming to town. I don't know. Right now, it just, reminds me of a meeting about a meeting. That's what we having right now. I just think we're just going through the process. But your thoughts? Are you excited? I mean, I understand if you haven't been excited for a long time. I mean, the NBA has only been gone how many years? 18 years. So I can understand. But when they come back, would you be excited? 888-973-5476. Muckle Street Casino Resort text line. Hey, coming up next, TSA. Yeah, they're getting ready to go up on the second weekend of not getting a check. But there is a sliver bit of good news, and it has to do with SEA, CTAC. So we'll tell you next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And, you know, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment. How technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology. And that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement. And it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and $250 150 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 2 tickets to see Dierks Bentley with Caitlin Butts and Mountain Grass Unit at Chateau Saint Michel on June 27th. Head to mynorthwest.com/win to enter and see contest rules. That's mynorthwest.com/win for your chance to win.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated, so don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart, just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 9:31. I'm Manda Factor. Iranian state media says Tehran has rejected a ceasefire proposal from the U.S. to end the war. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
As for what is in that 15-point proposal, the president himself has publicly said that, no nuclear weapons is really the top point here. The Associated Press is also reporting that some of the points include missile limits and also access for shipping through the Strait of Hormuz.
Yesterday, President Trump said Iran gave the U.S. a present, but did not reveal details. Fortnite maker Epic Games is cutting jobs and Bellevue takes a hit. 82 workers at the company's Lincoln Square office will be laid off starting Friday. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, that's part of more than 1,000 cuts company-wide. As you've been hearing, Seattle is a step closer to reclaiming the Sonics. The NBA's Board of Governors has approved a vote for the Basketball League to explore bids and applicants for expansion. And the Mariners open their season tomorrow at T-Mobile Park. Emerald City weather blog meteorologist Scott Sistek tells Seattle's Morning News there's a 70% chance the roof will be open.
So there's a chance they'll close the roof, but I think it's a pretty good chance it's going to be open. And then Friday and Saturday look absolutely gorgeous nights to be at the park.
Beyond opening day, Scott expects our summer to be drier and warmer than normal this year. Checking Wall Street stocks are higher. The Dow up 353 points at 46,477. S&P 500 up about 47, and the Nasdaq is up 219 points. KIRO News Radio traffic now. For that, we check in with Chris Sullivan.
Man, it's an ugly drive for those of you trying to get out of Linwood on I-405. We had another crash in the last half an hour, one that was blocking both of the express toll lanes right as you got to 520. It's now more over on the far left-hand side, so you are kind of getting by in one of the express toll lanes and kind of the lane you use to exit to get over into the main line towards 520. But we're still up to an hour and 10-minute trip from Linwood into Bellevue. That is about a 25-minute delay over what you might have expected. So very heavy on that drive. Out of Linwood down into Seattle, it's only 50 minutes, so you can see the disparity there. The rest of the map is cleaning out really nicely. Federal Way to Seattle's under 40 minutes. Renton to Bellevue is under a half an hour. Valley Freeway, no problems for you guys from Puyallup to Renton. We're running under 40 minutes. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
We're seeing beautiful sunshine this morning, but things will change. Building clouds throughout the day and a chance of showers by the afternoon. 49 the high for today. Right now it is 47 in the sunshine in downtown Seattle. I'm Manda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hey, coming up at 9:47. You know what? All of this Sonics talk, well, there's about 5,000 Sonics artifacts that's here locally that they're saying that they are probably going to give and hand to a Sonics team once they come back. We'll tell you about who that is, and we'll talk about that next. But right now, yes, we do have to talk about TSA. And right now, in spite of passengers waiting in line for hours at airports, checkpoints around the country due to the government partial shutdown, lines at SEA, though, continue to move swiftly and smoothly. Coop, I call him, SEA spokesman Perry Cooper explains why.
We've actually added more security checkpoint lanes with a brand new checkpoint, Checkpoint 1 last year, and a redesigned Checkpoint 6.
And Cooper also says the number one reason is that TSA workers who aren't getting paid continue to show up for work. So if you're at the airport, please thank them for their service. Now, airport security lines aren't getting any shorter as TSA officers working without pay call out sick in droves, with patients continuing to run out. United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby called on lawmakers to restore funding to the Department of Homeland Security right away.
It gets worse every day as it goes by. But the crazy thing about this is that, that's what causes our politicians to get it done. It's ridiculous to me that it has to get bad before they can get a deal done. But please get the deal done soon.
And he also gives props to TSA workers.
I think it's unconscionable that our politicians haven't gotten this done, and that we have security agents that are not being paid and they're still showing up. And kudos to them for doing that.
Okay. All right. I get it. Yes. If you're a TSA worker and you're listening, we're grateful for what you do. But I'm going to take another approach to this. When we continue, right now, we are talking and giving praise to people showing up to work without getting paid. People that have gone, this is now the third time of pay interruption within the last 6 months. Now, if you're listening right now, can you tell me the last time you've gone through something like that? And while I am encouraged and I'm grateful, I think we're all grateful for the TSA workers that continue to go in there. This is just crazy that this continues to happen. On the heels of, we see this happen, and then you had Delta Airlines make their statement yesterday. Atlanta's Delta Airlines announced that they will be suspending its standalone service for members of Congress until the TSA is fully funded. They said, quote, due to the impact on resources from the long-standing government shutdown, Delta will temporarily suspend specialty services to members of Congress flying Delta. Next to safety, Delta's number one priority is taking care of our people and customers, which has become increasingly difficult in the current environment. Hold up. First, if you're listening, did you know? I was today years old. I never knew that they had their own special service. Now, I'm not surprised. I just never knew. I never knew that they had special. Now, I know that if they have a private jet, I get that. But you mean to tell me, now I understand, we see pilots, we see flight attendants when they come through. Okay, I get them. Why in the heck does Congress get special perks when they go through? Oh, because they have to fly all the time? Are they any more important than someone having to go and fly to see their sick parent? Are they any more important than someone flying to a wedding? Are they more? You get where I'm going with this. This, to me, is bigger than some airport perks. Continuing for years, why does the powerful continue to get a pass in everything? Thank you, Delta Airlines, for doing this. And also thank you for alerting us, letting me know that everybody isn't equal when they're at the airport. But here's the craziest problem. While they lose their perks, we got TSA workers that still aren't getting paid. Also, if they didn't lose their perks, and by the way, this is just Delta Airlines in Atlanta. If they didn't lose their perks, how do they walk through with those perks, knowing that the TSA workers don't get paid? This is exactly the microcosm of what continues to happen here in the United States. Always, there's a small inconvenience for people at the top, while at the same time, the people that are working, the people that are doing what's supposed to be doing, the backbone, the heartbeat, the structure of the airports, they're in survival mode. And then people are starting to say, well, if those folks down in Atlanta, which, by the way, 40% have not been coming up to work. Right now, DHS says that more than 450 TSA officers have quit since the shutdown began more than a month ago. So we continue to do the same thing. At some point in our society, and this is not a point at anybody, I'm looking forward to the day that we start to flip the priority. I'm not saying that those at the top, those in Congress, I'm not asking them to have a hard time. But you have to admit, no matter where you are politically on this feeling, you have to admit that there is no way in the world in 2026 that we should ask the heartbeat of the airport to continue to go in there and not get paid. Didn't we not learn during COVID? Didn't we see what happened when the essential workers that we had to be to go out there and continue? The grocery stores, the factories, the truck drivers, all of the people that are in the trenches every single day, for some reason, are not the highest paid in our society. But when things go wrong and you need everything to continue during the emergency, we count on in our society those that are the lowest paid. At some point, just switch the priority. I'm not asking, it's not a zero-sum game. I'm not asking for those at the top to not get whatever they get coming to them. But you can do that and at the same time make sure that the people that are the heartbeat to this country aren't always in survival mode. Again, we're going on the second weekend of them not getting a check. Hopefully this is remedied soon. Coming up next here on the G and Ursula Show, 5,000 Sonics artifacts would potentially be given right back to Seattle Sonics. We'll talk about that next. Gee and Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC? Well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Ewart here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got three options. Number one, sell your home. Two, get a HELOC or refinance. Or three, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
What in the world is going on? You didn't hear? You can get iPhone 16e at Cricket Wireless for $0 when you switch.
iPhone 16e for $0.
No way. Yeah, and it has Apple Intelligence so you can clean up your photos. Clean up your photos.
Okay, but what's the hurry? The offer ends soon.
What they said.
Switch to Cricket and get iPhone 16e for $0 with no activation fee. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line and port in on the $60 Supreme Unlimited plan. First month service charge and tax to its sale. Terms and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Now through March 31st, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is paying your sales tax, plus offering easy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Now, Nick, what you know about Curtis Blow?
Oh, I like the way they dribble up and down the court. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, coming up at 10 o'clock, we are going to be talking. There's a big season that's going to be starting, especially for a local baseball team. That's right. Opening day is tomorrow for the Mariners. And Aaron Granello, our KIRO News Radio, he's explaining this new pitching robot. You got to hear about that. Also, Luke Ducey left some notes for us, right? Talking about all of the new things to do over there. So hey, we got a lot of stuff to talk about with the Mariners. But right now, we do need to talk, and I think this is important considering we've been talking about the Seattle Supersonics. The Seattle Supersonics 1979 championship trophy is on display at Mohai. And if Seattle does get an NBA team, other memorabilia will be coming back from Oklahoma City. KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin reports.
In the relocation contract from 2008, all of those items would be transferred at no cost to a new Seattle team owner upon request, while allowing Oklahoma City ownership to retain the right to create and display duplicate copies because they do have a shared history. The lawyer who negotiated the contract says he fought really hard to keep the memory of the team protected.
It was extraordinarily important, both because of that history and both, I think, we felt it was an extra incentive to assure that a team could come back to Seattle.
And that 2008 agreement also says that the Oklahoma City ownership was not allowed to use the Seattle Sonics or Supersonics name, logos, colors, or other team identity markers for its team after the move.
18 years. That's how long the Sonics have been gone. I got to tell you, it feels like it was just 5-6 years ago. I mean, 18 years that's crazy when that all happened. And the fact that the Seattle Supersonics 1979 championship trophy is here locally, right here at Mohai. That's not even far from the studios here. And I did not know, so I got to tell you, you guys heard it the same time as me. I didn't know that the Oklahoma City Thunder would have to send back memorabilia. Now, as you all know, the Oklahoma City Thunder did win the NBA championship last season. And, you know, if you are someone who is really about the Seattle Supersonics, you didn't really care to see that. But the one positive that I will say, especially right now where it feels like so many people sell out for money. Like it's crazy how much people will just sell out for a check. And I tell you, when I think about the Sonics and I think about them coming back, one of the things that I am the most proud of, is that I don't know if you have, but I know I didn't, I haven't seen Gary Payton, Detlef Schrempf, Sean Kemp, any of them, Nate McMillan, none of them. They never sold out. They never went with the Oklahoma City Thunder. They never got offered. Well, no, excuse me. They never even went to go. I'm quite sure they got offered to come be there in attendance, but they showed love to Seattle. And I got to tell you, yes, Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, if you guys know how great they were in the 90s, they were incredible, unbelievable. But if there's one thing that besides them being so good on the court, if there's one thing that I hope that they're remembered for, is that they did not sell out Seattle. They continued to show love in a time where so many people sell out every single day, sell out for a check. I mean, could you imagine seeing last season when the Thunder won the championship? Could you imagine seeing Sean Kemp and Gary Payton celebrating with them with their championship? Because I'm sure Oklahoma City would welcome that. The fact that they didn't is huge. And I just hope, you know what? I think that, I don't know if they'll be part of the ownership group. I don't know that, whoever buys the team. But if there's one thing, here's what I'm going to ask for. I hope they have permanent seats. Now, you know, of course, their jerseys are going to be in the rafters, all like that. No. I want something different. I want permanent seats for some of those guys. The Detlef Schrempf, the Sean Kemps, the Gary Paytons. Paul, am I crazy?
No, I think it's what's cool about that and the memorabilia is when and if the Sonics come back, they get to be the Sonics. They get to have their legacy, and they get to be able to go and say, hey, our legends, not only did they not give up on the Sonics, but they invested in Seattle as well. And
yes.
So when they get to come back, they should be celebrated as guys that stuck with it. I mean, especially, it's hard. I mean, how many St. Louis Rams legends, you know, how many are they conflicted? You know, there's so many athletes that's very weird for them to stay loyal. I think that means a lot. And I think that shows why people care about the Sonics so much, because their best players were loyal to them despite all the things going on. So they want to be loyal to the team.
And we talk about the legends of the Sonics back in the 90s, but I want to talk about the guys, too, that had to leave the team in the city in real time. How about Mr. Ray Allen and Rashad Lewis and Kevin Durant? Do you think they should get the permanent seats in the arena as well? I think they're a little righteous there. I think they deserve it.
KD was caught up in the move.
KD was caught up in the move. Ray was gone before the move. Yeah, he was gone before
maybe
the move.
a few years before that.
But the fact that the other day that KD wore his 35 jersey, his Sonics jersey. Yeah, Nick, I'm gonna allow that.
I'm just saying those were the last big figures that we had before they went. I think they left town. So I'd like to see those guys.
Yeah,
back too.
yeah. But you guys like my permanent seats.
I love it.
I like it.
Permanent, like that's your seat. That's your courtside seat. And what happens is check this out. If they're not there, right? Then it's like, hey, fan, you get an opportunity to sit in their seat. Man, you know what? That's my new thing now. Forget these. Put them in the rafter, too, but give folks a seat. All right. Coming up next, Mariners opening season. I know there's a lot of sports being talked about today. I apologize. But the Mariners opening day tomorrow, we have a lot to share with you, including amazing from KIRO Newsradio's Aaron Granillo. He does something really cool. I want you to check it out. We'll do it next. Gee and Ursula.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters, a show that covers everything having to do with your home. Tune in every Saturday from 2 to 3 on KIRO News Radio, where you'll hear from local business owners who are experts in their industries. From foundation to flooring, roofing and windows, furniture, and financial planning, it's everything in and around your home, and we've got you covered on Home Matters. If it matters to you, it matters to us here at Home Matters. Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO News Radio, or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. Thousands of air travelers are frazzled as security lines get longer.
So they said at 6:30 they want me to go back and stand in line and then hopefully get a flight out. But they're not going to guarantee me anything. What am I supposed to do, sleep on the floor?
She's at LaGuardia Airport in New York. The acting TSA administrator calls it a dire situation, no pay for airport security officers. And because of recent resignations, hundreds more need to be hired.
When McNeil told the House Homeland Security Committee at some airports, half of TSA agents are calling out sick rather than working without pay. Michigan Democrat Sri Tenadar had concerns about the ICE agents who have been deployed to airports to help the TSA.
I see them all sitting down, looking at their phones or chit-chatting, but looks like they have no role.
The ICE agents that are there are doing non-specialized screening functions. It's been incredibly helpful.
Some travelers are waiting more than 4 hours at TSA checkpoints. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
4 hours has been the story at Houston's Bush Airport at times, where we find CBS's Nicole Skanga.
When we arrived this morning, we found travelers who were actually asleep outside of this TSA security screening point just so they could be among the first in line once things opened up.
An official in Iran said today the country rejects the 15-point U.S. peace plan, and a counter-proposal from Tehran calls for sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. CBS's Chris Livesay is in Dubai.
The Emirates and the Gulf can't tolerate what Iran is demanding to basically turn the Strait of Hormuz into its own private toll booth, also for American troops to effectively leave the region. And those are troops and U.S. personnel that the Emirates and the Gulf are currently hosting, in part for their own protection.
Israeli forces are expanding a buffer zone in southern Lebanon, continuing a military campaign against Hezbollah. Now to San Antonio, where a crowd greeted Dennis Coyle, a 64-year-old American academic who was held in Afghanistan for more than a year for violating unspecified laws. Savannah Guthrie has given her first TV interview since her 84-year-old mother vanished almost 2 months ago, telling NBC colleague Hoda Kotb,
"Someone needs to do the right thing. We are in agony. Yeah. We are in agony. It is unbearable."
New Mexico authorities have rejected claims that they've mishandled the investigation. Wall Street, the Dow is up 370. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Mason County Sheriff's Office seeks your help. More on that coming up. But first, a very odd situation. I'm sending traffic over to my boss, Sully, the man who taught me everything I know in this business.
There's nothing odd in the news or the story. It's just, this is kind of weird.
Just odd that I'm giving the traffic to you.
No, that's okay. Well, it's good, Nate. It's good to see you at the anchor desk. You're doing a heck of a job there, learning that part of our biz as well. Love it. Out of the north end, we're still struggling coming down from Linwood because of the lane configurations and whatnot. We did have that earlier crash in the express toll lanes down near 520, but we've got about a 50-minute trip from Everett to Bellevue, about 45 35 or less from Everett to Seattle. So we're getting there. Rest of the map looks great. I mean, we're free and clear and cruising most places. We're looking at 35 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle, 35 up the Valley Freeway from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's under 20, and the lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Ichiro Replica Statue Night is Friday, April 10th. Don't miss out and get your tickets at mariners.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Hey, good morning. I'm Nate Connors. Seattle's downtown scrapers have lost billions in value, and that could hit your wallet. The most valuable office towers dropped $3.7 billion in assessed value between 2022 and 2025. That's according to King County assessor data. Nearly a third of all commercial floors downtown are now empty. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, the Downtown Seattle Association says that means less reliable property tax revenue for the city, and someone has to make up that difference. The group's president says renters, homeowners, small businesses will likely shoulder more of the burden. Last year, property taxes in Seattle's general fund came in about $2.8 million below what the city expected. The Mason County Sheriff's Office says a man is wanted in connection with a double homicide investigation in Hoodsport. Deputies are searching for a 60-year-old Robert T. Child who is considered armed and dangerous. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas has more.
We're told he ran off after a domestic violence call, and there is an active search for him right now. He's described as 6 feet tall, 250 pounds, and bald. He is considered armed and dangerous. Deputies say he could be driving a standard cab white Ford with a ladder rack. He may also have access to a gray 2008 Dodge Ram 3500. Look for a license plate number of C76622L. People in Hoodsport being told, please report anything suspicious.
You can see his picture at mynorthwest.com. King County Councilmember Reagan Dunn is blasting the council's vote Tuesday regarding drugs such as psilocybin mushrooms. The council approved a motion in support of continued research in the existing practice of deprioritizing enforcement for the drugs and personal use quantities by adults.
Bad trips can happen and can put those at risk for self-harm to themselves or others through an even greater state of panic or depression.
Teresa Mosqueda sponsored the motion.
I know that this is an important tool for those who are facing substance use disorder and needing additional treatment.
The Seattle Mariners are teaming up with Amazon to turn the T-Mobile Park center field screen into the world's largest Fire TV. The brand new LED board comes in at nearly 210 feet. The team says it will deliver sharper replays and brighter visuals. Fans can see the giant Fire TV for the first time on Thursday, tomorrow, opening day, when the Mariners host the Cleveland Guardians. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Sunshine this morning, but increasing clouds during the afternoon, a high around 50. Don't rule out a stray shower here and there during the evening commute. Opening day will be sunny in mid-50s. 47 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula will be out today. Hopefully she's back tomorrow. We got a full house today and a full show. Nick is here. Good morning to you. Good, Nick.
Good
How
morning,
you doing,
man.
brother?
Good, yeah.
Good. Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And Ella is here. Ella, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Ella will be making her debut on Scenarios later at 10:47. Again, we got a lot at 11 o'clock. Back by popular demand. You guys asked for it. The Big O, Omari Salsbury from Converge Media, will join the Gee and Ursula Show at 11 o'clock. He's coming in studio. He had a sit-down interview with the mayor of Seattle, Katie Wilson, and they talked a lot about public safety. So we need to ask him, we're a little bit nosy, what was that talk about and what was happening? So he'll join us at 11 o'clock. But right now, we got a lot to get to. Obviously, what is new at 10?
What's new at 10?
All right. Can you believe it? Opening day for the Seattle Mariners is tomorrow. And as you all know, expectations are pretty high after the team's run to a Game 7 of the American League Championship Series last year. They were so close to a World Series. But one of the biggest weapons isn't even on the roster. Why? Because the biggest weapon is a robot. Now, KIRO News Radio's Aaron Granillo explains.
In a batting cage at the Mariners Spring Training Complex in Peoria, a fastball zips in at 96 miles an hour, being thrown by an opposing pitcher who isn't even in the building.
This is the guy that we're going to see today. We're playing the Kansas City Royals. We got his video here, his video out of the windup.
Welcome to Big League batting practice in the age of AI, a life-size hologram of a pitcher on a screen. His windup, delivery, even velocity, all replicated with uncanny accuracy.
Same speed, same movement, same shape. It's pretty dang close.
Ed Paparella is the Mariners minor league hitting coordinator. He runs the Traject Arc machine, the tech behind the hologram.
Pretty much what it does is it creates every single pitch that's ever been thrown in the big leagues. Our guys use it every single day.
The machine didn't exist before 2021. Canadian engineer and Traject inventor Joshua Pope first thought of it as a teenager, arguing with friends about whether they could hit a big league pitcher. He realized MLB was already tracking every pitch.
We could see these trajectories on the screen. Like you could see how far a home run was hit. You could see the trajectory of every pitch. And we're like, okay, obviously there's a lot of data being collected in baseball.
So Pope set out to turn that data into a training tool. He tells the Masters of Engineering podcast how the machine works.
There's a camera. The camera takes a picture of the ball. It identifies the locations of the seams and then reconfigures it into 2-seam for 2-seam and 4-seam for 4-seam.
Today, about 2/3 of Major League Baseball clubs use Traject. And since 2024, the league even allows the teams to use it during games. Manager Dan Wilson tells me that matters in a sport where pitching has become so dominant.
Plays a great part in getting guys prepared each night for the pitcher they're going to see. It does prepare guys that, they might come off the bench. They get a chance to sort of hit off the relievers that they may or may not see in that game.
Even Mariners president of baseball operations, Jerry DiPoto, has faced off against Traject. He tells our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
It is very real. I mean, you stand in there and you can't believe how realistic it is. And it's a bit of a rage among our players.
New Mariner Brendan Donovan uses the machine every day. For him, it's about making practice harder than the game itself.
I think that you should make your training as hard as possible. It's funny, you can hit off that machine all day against whoever you're facing, and you can still go out there and have not so good day. That's how crazy baseball is. But I'm a believer in almost like an overspeed training. It's like, how can I make that as tough as possible? So hopefully, when I get out there, it's never going to get easier. You may just be able to make decisions a little quicker.
A high-tech edge the Mariners hope will give their hitters a leg up as they face the real arms this week. Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Now, all you got to do is head to mynorthwest.com if you would like to see the pitching robot in action. That's mynorthwest.com. You can see it there. And right now we are joined by KIRO News Radio's Aaron Granillo. AG, I call him. AG, how you doing, brother?
Hey, G, what's up? It's been a minute since we chatted.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
First, why this story?
Well, I'm a huge Mariner fan, I think, as a lot of our listeners know. And I first heard about this machine a couple of years ago. And when the Mariners first rolled it out, it was kind of a secret. I feel like I was talking to Shannon Dreyer over on the 710 Sports side when it first came out. And she was like, don't talk about it. The Mariners don't want anybody to know that they have this machine. Because at the time, like 2 or 3 clubs have one. Now, today, it's roughly 24, 25 teams probably have one now. And I've always wanted to see it in action. I've only seen videos of it. And when I was there for spring training, I went for just a visit to watch the M's play down in Peoria. And I thought, well, I'm down there. I might as well try to check it out. And it was super cool. I mean, it's just cool technology. And as a baseball fan, to see that, I wanted to see what 96 miles per hour looks like coming at you from a big league player. And the guy that they programmed for me was the guy, Cole Reagans, who the Mariners were facing that day. So you could actually, hours before you even step into the batter's box on the big league field,
right,
you can see what the guy's throwing right at you. And it looks super real. You heard DiPoto say it. It looks like the real thing. It's super cool.
Yeah. So you did jump in the batter's box.
I did. So funny little backstory here. So before I jumped in the batter's box, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to. So in the spring training complex, there's netting obviously around these cages.
Right.
And I'm standing right behind the netting. So there's the initial net and then a second net.
Yeah.
And I'm directly behind this thing, so it's coming right at me, 96 miles per hour. And I was probably a little too close to the netting because the ball came, well, let's just say below the belt. And kind of brushed a little bit.
Right.
And the M staff was like, yo, back up.
Oh, man.
I was like, yeah. You don't got to tell me twice.
messed up.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming your family was down there.
They were. Well, they weren't for that story. I had to get there at like 7 a.m.
Okay.
On vacation.
Okay.
Kind of a bummer. But,
so,
you know.
I noticed you keep avoiding my question. So I asked you, were you in the batter's box?
I was not in the actual
you
batter's
didn't
box.
take a swing.
I didn't take it. They didn't let me. That'd be a big liability, I feel like. What if a foul ball comes and I'm giving myself too much credit, like it actually made contact. But let's say I actually swung and made contact and it came back and hit me or something, you know? That'd be,
you actually could make contact.
I would never. No.
Right. So, question: 96 miles an hour for the people right now. Do the best to describe it for us listening right now. I mean, it's probably it's way faster than what we see on TV.
It's scary.
It's scary.
It's scary, honestly. And then you see 96, and then you see this guy's slider, and it breaks super late, and you can actually see some of the video online. I don't know how a baseball player does it. I mean, obviously they take 1,000 hacks a day, but it's scary. Yeah, I mean, I peaked in high school, and that's when they were throwing like 75, 80, and I couldn't even touch that.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah. I rode the bench in high school.
Well, can I just want you to know, I'm so glad that you couldn't touch it because KIRO Newsradio is so lucky to have you.
Well, thank you, Jay. I appreciate that.
All right.
My big league dreams went away a long, long time ago.
Thanks, Eric Granillo. And again, go to mynorthwest.com. You can see the pitching robot in action. I'm not going to lie to you. When I'm done with this segment, I need to go and see it for myself. We have been talking probably too much sports. I get it today, but it's a big day right now. The Sonics potentially taking the next step to make their eventual return. But the mayor of Seattle, Katie Wilson, just recently, she just released a new social media post about the Sonics with the Rainier Beach basketball team.
Seattle knows champions.
From the Storm to the Sounders. From the Seahawks to the Rainier Beach community.
We've been preparing, and Seattle's ready to take our shot. Let's bring the Supersonics home.
Now, Gee, I know we just played the audio, and it was great because that's a shot being made by one of the players there. But the video continues, and it shows the mayor trying to shoot some free throws.
How'd she do?
She at least 1 for 3 in the clips or the cuts that we saw. But the form, she's got to work on the hand in the cookie jar.
So I didn't see that part. I saw the mayor making a pass, right?
Yep.
And she wasn't very good. Here's what I absolutely love about it. To me, that makes the mayor more endearing. Sometimes it's good to show the real. How long did we talk about the CEOs eating the hot dog, right? Trying to look a certain way. That dude from McDonald's, the CEO from McDonald's, was so dang uncomfortable that he is the reason why everybody started to do it. Mm-hmm. And so when I see the mayor in this situation pull up to Rainier Beach, who we all know just won the high school state championship, to do that with the Sonics, to me, that makes the mayor even more endearing. Now, that's my opinion. I would like to know from you, 888-973-5476, when you see, maybe, public officials go out to the schools and do things like that, what's your thoughts? Do you like seeing that or do you not? Because I do. Any time I get to see public officials outside of City Hall, outside of a news conference, outside of all of those, those, like, just sometimes just outside of just the people. And we don't get politicians showing up and being with the people that often, so I love to see that. Now, before I move on from talking about this Sonics stuff, I do want to
read off some of the text messages that have come in about the Sonics and the potential of them coming back. TC in Sammamish says there should be zero public investment or tax breaks for this venture. If a group can put up $10 billion in cash, which they wouldn't have to put up $10 billion, but they can afford the venue and everything that goes along with it. Is there sales tax on purchasing an NBA team or selling the Seahawks? Could this help plug the budget gaps? And I want to just say this. Remember this. When Climate Pledge Arena was built, remember, there was no public investment. That was all them, which is why it's going to be hard for someone outside of them to get the team. Robin Piala says, where does that buy-in money go? And James Issaquah says, I no longer care for the NBA style of play the last 20 years, and I played high school basketball. But I am glad for those in Seattle who like the NBA, and I am especially glad the basketball-only Hanson Stadium in Soto didn't work out and the NHL came to Seattle. And I got to tell James and Issaquah, Nick and Paul knows I complain about the NBA every day. The style of play, it feels like I'm watching basketball at LA Fitness. The style of play is just disgusting. The sense of urgency in the NBA is terrible. The fact that you see the star players sometimes at the beginning of the season, load management, and they're not playing, it's outrageous too. But we only got about 3 to 4 minutes left in the segment, and I got to get to this. NASA just announced an ambitious long-range plans on Tuesday to spend $20 billion. By the way, real quick, before I continue with this, have you guys noticed how often billion is brought up? Like, this just started, I swear, over the last 5-6 years. We didn't used to just say billions so much. It's like billions are thrown out every single day. But anyway, so they got this ambitious long-range plan, right, to spend $20 billion over the next 7 years to build a moon base near the lunar South Pole featuring habitats, pressurized rovers, and nuclear power systems. NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman kicked off a series of meetings with contractors at NASA headquarters in Washington. He's saying he envisions launching 2 moon landing missions per year. CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood has more.
NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman began a near-term overhaul of the agency's Artemis moon program a few weeks ago, and he's now providing details of the long-range plan. NASA now intends to spend $20 billion over the next 7 years building a base near the moon's south pole and to send astronauts to the surface every 6 months or so, starting before the end of the decade.
When you hear the news about billionaires and the moon, and you hear about investments that are happening away from Earth, what goes through your mind? Because I really do and wish and wonder, why does it feel like billionaires are just spending more time trying to figure out how to leave Earth? That's just kind of how I feel, right? Because as we're watching these rockets go up, and it's cool, and I know that, years ago, the first time man was on the moon, that was great. It was fantastic. And there was no social media back then. But man, every time I see it, I think about rent, groceries, and healthcare, right? Like, I just wish that effort that's being made on the moon, the $20 billion, this many billion dollars, this many billion dollars, I wish that effort was made right here. Because, look, I think that these folks are obviously smart. I believe that they're like 100 times smarter than me. But if they can figure out and be smart enough to build a base on a moon, can we do a little bit more to build some stuff here and continue on with that? And when I say build stuff, I mean the priorities that are here. Because right now, the average person is looking at rockets going to the moon like, man, I'm just trying to fill my gas tank.
It reminds me of the pandemic where we were seeing all the celebrities and stuff go up there, and it was just like, I don't care about privatized space flight when we're in the midst of everything that's going on in the late 2020s into 2021.
But again, I would love to hear from you. Change my mind. Change my mind and tell me, help me better understand why it's important to get more of an investment on the moon right now. And I tell you what, if you guys' answer is good enough, you know me, I'll hit you back and I'll talk about it. I'll say, you know what? You give me something to think about. Coming up next here on the G and Ursula Show at 10:47, we got scenarios. But up next, question. How do you handle negotiating your salary and or raise? All right, we'll talk about it next. G and Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest.
Muckleshoot. Yikey Wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there, too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
How can you grow your business from idea to industry leader? With smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Nate Connors. Today, the NBA Board of Governors could vote to expand the league, and that would mean a return of the Seattle Sonics. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha outside Climate Pledge Arena.
The bottom line, if the NBA Board of Governors gives the green light, fans could be rushing through these doors as soon as the 2028-29 season. Now, the league's expansion meeting started in the last 24 hours in New York City. For years, the Sonics have been mentioned as an expansion option, but today's vote could be one that brings a team to Seattle again, and if Las Vegas gets one too, frankly. Now, a two-thirds majority vote is needed for the expansion. That's 23 of 30 of the governors. If they vote to expand, the league is targeting the 28-29 season, which would be 20 years after the Sonics left. A yes vote means the NBA could start a bidding process with respective ownership groups in both Seattle and Las Vegas.
We're expecting to hear from the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver in about an hour at 11:30. Seattle police detectives are looking for a suspect and a motive after a man was found dead in a Capitol Hill apartment yesterday afternoon. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
A 911 caller alerted police to an unresponsive man in an apartment near Melrose Avenue and East Pine Street just after 4 p.m. Here's SPD Detective Eric Munoz.
Officers found a 39-year-old man with multiple puncture wounds. The Seattle Fire Department arrived shortly after and pronounced the victim deceased.
Police have no suspect and no motive. The investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information is asked to call the Violent Crimes Tip Line at 206-233-5000. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A Tacoma woman who woke up to gunmen shooting up her parents' house last month is telling her story. 21-year-old Emma Taylor tells KIRO 7 she was shot in the foot and grazed by 5 other bullets. About 50 shots were fired into the house, and Taylor, who's now living with her sister, doesn't think she could ever stay there again.
I've been back to the house to get some of my stuff, and just being in the room, seeing the bullet holes, thinking of the what ifs, if I was laying any other type of way in bed, if I was upstanding, and if any of us were up and standing, I don't know, just thinking about that, I don't think I could.
So far, no arrests in that case. Taylor thinks it was a case of mistaken identity. One of Western Washington's most beloved cycling events is off this year. The Redmond Cycling Club tells the News Tribune it's canceling the ride around Mount Rainier in one day, known as Ramrod. For more than 40 years, about 800 riders have tackled the 150-mile route each summer. The problem is timing. The club says the National Park Service wants to push the ride to after Labor Day, but the club's president says that's too late. With school already started, shorter days, and colder temperatures, he calls it a safety issue. The Park Service says it will stay open to future proposals. On Wall Street, stocks head for a second day of gains in the past six sessions. The Dow is up 320, S&P 500 up 43, NASDAQ up nearly 200. Now your KIRO News Radio traffic, we send it over to Sully.
And Nate, we're looking at something blocking a center lane. Not exactly sure what it is on northbound I-5, right as you get past the stadiums there, right as you get off into the CD lanes coming into downtown. Center lane blocked. There's an IRT truck there. We're starting to see a little bit of a backup. That takes what was a really nice and easy 35-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle up to about 40, maybe a little bit more. So hopefully they'll get this thing out of the way, whatever it is. But all DOT will say is it's an obstruction, and that could be just about anything. Rest of the map, not too bad. We're back down to about 40 minutes from Everett to Bellevue or Everett to Seattle. Rented to Bellevue is under 25 minutes. The Valley Freeway, nice and easy at 35, and nothing really across the lake at this point. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio's app. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO News Radio app, listen to your favorite shows, and get the latest news and updates sent right to your phone.
Thanks, boss. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Increasing clouds this afternoon. Slim chance of showers by the evening commute. 52 for today's high. Opening day, mostly sunny and 55. Just perfect. It's going to get chilly at night with that overnight low in the mid-30s. Sunshine and 48 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Oh, here comes the good stuff for the show today. I think over the next, I would say over an hour, I think this is going to be my favorite part of the show. Coming up at 11 o'clock, the Big O, Omari Salsbury from Converge Media will join us. He sat down with the mayor, Katie Wilson, to talk about public safety, and we need to ask him about that. He sits down with us at 11. Coming up next, in scenarios, someone writes in that they just bought a house last year and they love it. But right now, they got some folks living with them, and they need help with that. But right now, we need to talk about the negotiations of salaries. Now, I'm not an expert on this topic. So if you're a boss or a manager or someone who is in charge of negotiations of salaries, please, we would love to hear from you. Because right now, there's this new thing where executive negotiation coach Jacob Warwick is encouraging negotiating salaries even in a tough job market. They're saying with economic uncertainty rampant, Warwick says some people feel that you should just be grateful for any job offer. Warwick also claims the problem with this mindset is it lowers expectations and it crushes creativity. Quote, when you're making the assumption that this is how it's going to be, he's saying that you're naturally negotiating against yourself. His advice is always better to ask. Jacob Warwick interview with Lenny Ratchke answering the question, how much comp are people generally leaving on the table when they don't even try to negotiate?
How much comp are people generally leaving on the table when they don't even try to negotiate?
Yeah, so typically what I've seen is, even without my help, just general pushbacks, not aggressive, a simple, what's the chance there could be more here kind of pushback. I mean, that's about as easy as it can get. You get the offer, you say, what's the chance there's a little bit more? Almost always see a 20% improvement on that. And that is across the board from earlier stage positions. Let's say they gave you a $100,000 offer, 120 could be there just from a simple pushback, which is, when you're making that kind of money, that's life-changing.
He says he's seen one simple phrase that results in anything from 5% to 20% more in these offers. Quote, what's the chance that there's a little more here? He's saying that this phrase is a reminder that the terms aren't set in stone, also as a way to see if the role itself could be bigger. Warwick pushes clients to approach interviews like consultants rather than waiting to be evaluated. You know, again, if you're a hiring manager, I would love for you to text in 888-973-5476, the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, and I would love your opinion on this or expertise advice on this. And the reason why is because, look, this job right here is the first job I ever had. These things, a lot of us don't know. Most of I can't speak for anyone else. Let me speak for myself. When I was hired, I was just happy to have a job. Like, oh, thank you. So these things, like that one quote of, hey, what's the chance that there's a little more here? So I wonder, is it to be assumed that every single time you get a job offer, that it is a lowball? Is it to be assumed that every time someone offers you a salary, that actually there is more to it? So let's just use a simple number. I'm just going to use $50,000, okay? Let's just go simple. You get offered $50,000. I'm asking you, what should you do with that? Should you accept it? And if you were to counter, what would you counter with? Paul?
See, it's tough. I would like to go for a little bit more, especially if it was my next job. You mentioned that first job's really tough when you don't have any of that experience. But I think the phrasing of what's the chance that there's a little more here is the best way to open that door, because Jacob mentions it here. Also, that shows that you're willing to kind of take that next step. You're willing to maybe do a little bit more potentially, and that might make it enticing. So. Yeah, I need to be stronger in it, but I'm kind of with you. My first job here was a part-time. I've kind of worked my way internally through this being my first ever real full-time job with benefits and everything. So I haven't found myself in a lot of negotiating things, but I think the quote he says, when you're making the assumption that this is how it's going to be, you're naturally negotiating against yourself.
Right.
I think that's setting the stage up for you to settle when, at the end of the day, if they're already offering you the job, if you're in, negotiation of salaries should be part of the process. And that's why I also do like here in Washington, I like the fact that we get to see the salary ranges when you apply for a job. I think that's at least gives you some information that you can go in and say, hey, I know the range of what these people are making in similar fields.
Yeah.
Can we do something comparable, or how can I reach that type of thing?
Here's the part that really, again, I would love to hear. Emily, I'm going to read yours here in a second. I love what you say here, Emily. The part that gets me, and this is what I see, especially the young generation doing a lot of, and I get it, but it's unfortunate that has to be the strategy, because I think that the goal would be to be with the company. So the longer you're with the company, the more synergy. I know some people don't like that word, synergy. The more synergy, the more chemistry there is, the more you're better understand. You're a better employee, right? You understand what's going on. So you would think that it's easier when you stay with the company for you to move up with your salary. But it's the opposite. And it seems like today we are seeing a lot of people job hop, right? And when they job hop, they can start here in 2023. They've had like 4 or 5 jobs, and here it is, 2026. But their salary is so much more because they've gone to different job, and they've made more. But if they stay at the same place, it's almost like they discourage loyalty to stay with one company. Emily in Lake Stevens texts in and says, as a manager, if you're negotiating salary or asking for a raise, bring to the negotiation table the things that set you apart. Talk about the value you bring to the position. That is impressive to me. So I get that. And these are things that you probably didn't know. So for an example, Emily, when I first started and I was offered a salary, I ain't had no value. I was just happy to have a job. So, but that little strategy, understand what you're saying, but the little strategy of if there's a little bit more would be great. Jerry in 206 says, as a negotiator, it's not one-sided story. His view is why a large contract with many positions is hard. Individual contracts, maybe. Nick, $50,000 offered to you. What do you counter with, Nick?
I feel like you got to at least go up maybe a little, maybe like 10, 15%. I would go like 55, 60,000 at that point. If you're asking for more than that, they might be a little discouraged with how much you're asking for. So you want to keep it level, you know?
Yeah, I would say shoot for 60, settle for 55 if you can.
I mean, I would love like 75 or more than that, but
so I don't
know if that's realistic.
Is it too much to ask to go from 50 to 75 and then they come back and say no and they give you 65?
Yeah, you could highball them and then you could meet in the middle for what you really want.
All right. Scenarios next. Gee and Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Nobody should drink and drive. It's dangerous. DUI Heroes cares for the clients as people, individuals who made a mistake. So if you or someone you know made an unfortunate mistake of driving under the influence or was pulled over for DUI, DUI Heroes will hear you and understand you. They will represent you and defend you. Jonathan and his team, they're wonderful people and exceptional in what they do. DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist, DUIHeroes.com.
When it comes to financial planning, women often face different realities. For some, years were spent caregiving or raising children. Others were growing careers. Yet so often, investments and tax decisions were set aside or handled by someone else. And statistically, women live longer. Over the next 20 years, trillions will transfer to women, only after the loss of a spouse. And suddenly, they're expected to make these complex decisions alone. That's why I created Growing Her Wealth. I'm Danielle Meister, a wealth advisor at Madrona Financial and CPAs. This initiative was built to empower women and integrate investments, tax strategy, and estate planning all under one roof. This is for men as well, husbands and wives, to ensure a coordinated long-term plan. It's about elevating family stewardship. If you or someone you love wants thoughtful guidance in a professional, supportive environment, join me at an upcoming seminar or webinar. Visit growingherwealth.com to reserve your seat today. Growing Her Wealth, financial confidence on your terms.
Madrona Financial Services is an SEC registered investment advisor.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
John Curley here. This baseball season, step up to the plate and get the price of a new heating and cooling system in just 60 seconds on your phone with no pressure. Don't wait. Call the comfort people. HomeComfortAlliance.com. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters. Tune in this weekend when we'll talk with local business owners about everything in and around your home. Join us on Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO News Radio or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you. The Big O, Omari Salsbury. I heard he's here, actually. So he's going to be joining us at 11:06. Can't wait to sit down with him. He had an interview. He sat down with the mayor of Seattle, Katie Wilson, and they talked a lot about public safety. So we'll be asking him about that and talking about that. Last time the Big O was on with Converge Media, he was on fire. But right now, let's get two scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I bought a house last year. Love it. It's kind of small, but just right for me and my girlfriend. She moved in with me in October, and it's going pretty well. Then, around Thanksgiving, she wanted to adopt a pet from a shelter. No problem, I said. But the dog she got wasn't a little lap dog. It's a golden retriever mix with a lab and something else. Not sure what. So, anyways, I made it do what it do. Then this happened. At Christmas, my brother told me he's moving back to town. He was on a job assignment that ended, and now he's coming back with nowhere to stay, no income. So he asked if he can move in with us for a few weeks until he gets settled. And he asked at Christmas dinner. Now, I really couldn't say no in front of everyone, right? I hate everything about it. My perfect house isn't big enough for all of us. My girlfriend and I are getting along great, and I don't want a third person in the house. I don't know if you've been in this situation before. And also, I want to add, my brother is kind of a womanizer. I don't really trust him around my girlfriend. But am I being selfish? He says it's only for a short time until he finds his own place. But a little while, has a tendency to stretch much longer sometimes. So, I'm asking you, what do I do? How do I navigate this? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. All right, Paul, you're going to be up to bat first.
Whew, man, there's a lot of layers here, but I think you have to let him in for 2 weeks and then say it's 2 weeks and you're out, because we have to figure this out. Because if it's a space thing, if it's a concern thing, I mean, people just have take advantage of your generosity. But family's important, and I would like to think if my brothers came to me in a time of need, I'd be able to adjust. But it's on them to also be active. If you move in and I would kind of be a little bit like, hey, how's the job? There'd be daily job hunt questions. There'd be daily, hey, how's the housing situation going?
Yeah.
It's tough, hey, if your job, it ran out and all that stuff. But if you were smart while you were on your job, you should have been saving ahead and planning ahead for when your contract ended, so you should be able to. But hey, if you need 2 weeks so you can find an apartment and go get there, boom, that's great. And even better, I'll hook you up with a referral with someone I know in the business. So let them in, but try your best to put that strict thing. And hey, it's your brother, though. You're going to have some tough family conversations, but it's okay to kick him out if you need to after a couple weeks.
Paul, did you kind of want to say you shouldn't have been buying lattes and avocado toast?
A little bit, yeah, but part of it. But but that is true, right? If you know your job's ending and you don't have a place to stay, you need first month's, last month's security deposit to get into most places. So if you don't have that, it's going to take a while to make that money.
All right, the official debut of Ella. Ella, what do you got?
Okay. First thing that caught me off guard was him saying that his brother's a womanizer.
Yes.
First, I'd be like, trust your girlfriend to not make a move or like go along with that, I'd hope.
Okay.
And then in terms of letting him stay, I would say, yeah, I kind of agree with Paul. Like, I feel like let him stay, but I feel like have a hard cutoff time where it's like, yeah, you have 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll check in about this, but I don't have the space to like host you for much longer than that.
Right.
So I don't know. Just being like to the point to his face.
Now, there's some text messages that are coming in.
Yeah, I'm not being agreed with. This is a rare time where I'm the one in trouble on the text line.
You know what? I'm not agreeing with you either, Paul. You know, and here's why. The reason why I don't agree with you, and there's people on the text line that, like 206 just texts in and says, I would say no, don't let the brother move in. Dave in Snohomish County says, hey, dude, you can say no. Russ in the 253 says, trust your feelings. Tell him no and why. The reason why these text messages are coming in, I'm going to assume that anybody that heard that scenario that said no, they're saying no from experience.
Yeah, right. There's a few people.
That's where that's coming from. And I'm going to tell you, let me raise my hand first. I've been in a situation where I've said yes in my home, and man, it changed the dynamic in my house.
Yeah, totally.
To the point where sometimes you can potentially not recover. You just got the new girlfriend in October. You just got the new dog that wasn't a lap dog, bigger than you thought. Things are going great. You bring something in, even if it's for a month, you have no idea, and they're potentially 6 months down the road, you and your girlfriend didn't work out. You're like, man, I don't know what happened.
It's that straw that could break the camel's back.
What you got, man?
Well, it's one thing to be letting the girlfriend stay with you and maybe pushing the envelope a bit, getting the dog in the mix, testing your own comfort. But now you got to be having the brother coming into town, making his way through the door. And on top of that, he's a bit of a womanizer and might be bringing other guests or friends to the table as well without any guarantee of helping out with the bills or expenses of what you got to deal with. Look, I know family is family and you got to take care of your people. But baggage is another thing with the brother, and it can't be permanent if there's going to be a mess in the crib. Let him do his thing for a bit, but your life is your life. And worst case scenario, that lady friend you might be taking off with, and the new dog too, she might be feeling what the brothers, might not be feeling what the brothers bringing to the table and heading out herself.
Now, I want to go to Paul, because here's the thing about Paul. Paul has he has such a good heart. And I actually like Paul's strategy. Hey, you got 2 weeks. Here is a specific date. The problem with Paul's generosity is in this scenario, and like Ella pointed out, he just said in it, my brother is kind of a womanizer. I don't really trust him around my girlfriend. Fam, if your gut is telling you that, if your gut is telling you that,
I was thinking he'd bring other lady friends over, but yeah, the girlfriend itself, that's a whole different thing.
No, don't do it. Okay, go refill your coffee or your beverage or whatever you like to have, because you all know the big O. Omari Salsbury from Converge Media is going to join us next. And if you've heard him before, then if you know, you know. That happens next. Gee and Ursula.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back.
File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday. Scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
I'm Omari Salsbury. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Think about this. In 2006, $20,000 equaled roughly 33 ounces of gold at the spot price. At today's prices, those 33 ounces would be worth over $150,000. Smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals. That's why I buy gold from Birch Gold Group. It's a crucial part of my balanced strategy. Gives me peace of mind given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you, too. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, let Birch Gold help you diversify with gold. Now that's peace of mind. Text Dan to 989898. Again, text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 today. Message and data rates apply.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
There's no beating CM Heating.
Hartley Wilcox here. Do you know where your food comes from? If it's perishable, you should read the package. Wilcox Farms eggs are locally fresh from Washington. For the freshest choice, choose Wilcox Family Farms.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. In a landmark social media addiction case, a jury in Los Angeles finds Meta and YouTube liable for a woman's childhood social media addiction. The plaintiff has been awarded $3 million. Meta says it respectfully disagrees with the verdict and is evaluating its legal options. CBS's Jolene Kent reports.
Meta and YouTube both liable on all charges in this LA Superior Court case, in addition to the New Mexico State Attorney General's case that was won yesterday by the state of New Mexico. I mean, this is an incredibly important moment. I expect, as Meta said in New Mexico, they plan to appeal that case.
The House Homeland Security Committee has been holding a hearing on the impact of the Department of Homeland Security shutdown, including long airport lines. Deputy TSA Administrator Ha Nguyen McNeil testifies.
Prior to this shutdown, our TSO call-out rate was 4%. Now, multiple major airports are experiencing days where 40 to 50% of their staff are calling out because they simply cannot afford to report to work.
Efforts to break the funding and standoff over the ICE enforcement policies keeps getting hung up. CBS's Torian Small on Capitol Hill.
Democrats did say that they gave a counterproposal to Republicans, but at this moment, it is a stalemate.
The UN Secretary General is warning the world is staring down the barrel of a wider war because of the conflict with Iran. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Antonio Guterres said it's gone too far.
More than 3 weeks on, the war is out of control.
And he said peace initiatives must get underway.
My message to the United States and Israel is that it is high time to end the war as human suffering deepens, civilian casualties mount, and the global economic impact is increasingly devastating.
He called on Iran to stop attacking its neighbors.
A Harvard University study finds methane emissions in major American cities are significantly higher than reported to the EPA.
Researcher Zhaolin Wang says the main culprits are landfills and gas infrastructure, which appear to play a larger role in climate change than scientists previously realized.
Use satellite observations that can detect methane from space. And this satellite allows us to see emissions across all those entire cities, and we can detect the exact source of that emission.
The researchers say lower methane emissions coming from Los Angeles proves that cities can create rules to quickly reduce emissions. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Stocks are up on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount.
Jack.
Plans are already brewing to stop the so-called millionaires tax. Details straight ahead, but first your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Well, we just got the all-clear North 5 at I-90 from an earlier blockage from some sort of debris. Never did figure out what that was, but it's out of there. We're left with a thick backup, though, from the Michigan curve to just past the West Seattle Bridge. It's taken about 5 minutes to get through this. South 5 into Seattle, you're going to slow a bit from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle, 20 to 25 minutes. And on the east side, South 405 heading through Kirkland, it's crowded off and on between 124th and 520. Nothing real heavy here. In fact, Linwood to Bellevue has a 5-minute delay. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good morning, I'm Nate Connors. Washington's new so-called millionaires tax is already under fire, and the governor hasn't even signed it yet. State GOP Chair and Representative Jim Walsh says opponents are gearing up for a court battle.
There will be lawsuits. There will be initiatives, and there will be a lot of people running for the state legislator to try to get this thing turned around.
Walsh was speaking to KIRO Radio's John Curley, calling the bill an unconstitutional income tax. The measure will impose a 9.9% tax on households making over $1 million a year. The money would fund a range of public services, including child care and the Working Families Tax Credit. Police are still searching for the man who stabbed a woman multiple times on Redmond's Bear Creek Trail in January. The suspect is described as a Hispanic male, about 5'9", with a medium build and a bumpy complexion. The victim, Judith Walker, is now out of the hospital. On Tuesday, she visited police, first responders, and the person who called 911 and thanked them for saving her life. Crime Stoppers is offering $50,000 in the case. Well, scammers are at it again. KIRO 7 TV's Allison Amoye reports King County Sheriff's deputies are seeing a spike in scam text messages.
It starts simply with a ding, but Sergeant Michael Glasgow says it could end up costing you everything.
The unfortunate one that we're investigating still, coming out of the White Center area, was almost $2 million in loss.
Smishing is on the rise. It's when scammers use SMS or texts to fish for information or money, and the texts often claim to be from government agencies asking you to pay up.
Don't ever click on one of those links. If you get the text, just delete it. Well, in spite of passengers waiting in line for hours at airport checkpoints around the country due to the government shutdown, lines at SEA continue to move swiftly and smoothly. SEA spokesman Perry Cooper explains why.
We've actually added more security checkpoint lanes with a brand new checkpoint in Checkpoint 1 last year and a redesigned Checkpoint 6.
Cooper also says the number one reason is that TSA workers who aren't getting paid continue to show up for work. So if you're going to the airport, thank them for their service. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. So far, so good, but things will change this afternoon. Increasing clouds, maybe a stray shower in the mix. 53 for our high. We'll drop to 36 overnight. Mid-50s and mostly sunny Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 48 and partly sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, I told you the big O is coming in from Converge Media. Omari Salsbury, he's is here. But before I get to that, this is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula is out today. Hopefully she'll be back tomorrow. Nick's here. Paul's here, and Ella's here as well. We got a lot going on this hour of the show. Before we also get to Omari here, just a rehash of our last segment. It was in scenarios. If you missed that, make sure you go to the podcast later on today. It was a doozy scenario. A lot of you all texting in saying, do not let the brother move in. And I think the best take probably from me comes from Scott in Redmond. And Scott in Redmond says, does this guy have any idea how hard it is to evict someone once they move in? That point right there, especially
a family member too,
and especially in this state, all they got to do is come to your house and get one piece of mail, and it's a Reynolds wrap. It's gonna be so hard to get them out your house. But hey, Agree to Disagree comes up next. We'll be doing that at 11:30. But right now, let's get to it. He's from Converge Media, founder Omari Salsbury. I call him the Big O. He joins us now. Good morning, good brother.
Gee, what's happening? It's great to be back over here. Yeah, I can't believe this. 6 years I've been coming on KIRO, but this is the first time, 2 times in a row now in studio.
Right.
Man, I'm moving on up over here at Bonneville.
Well, also, a lot of people loved having you on the last time you were here. Thank you for being here. I want to get right to it. You sat down with the mayor of Seattle, Katie Wilson. What'd you guys talk about? What's up?
Yeah, so Mayor Wilson came back to the Black Media Matters studio for an hour. You know, it's extended conversations, by the way. But the majority of the conversation really was about what's going on to combat gun violence, youth violence, crime in the city, and the things that ripple out from that. So we talked about what the city is doing right now, and trying to address these issues around youth. Also, what the care department, what's happening with that, and also, as usual, G, you know, I really feel like Converge Media and me personally, I really feel that, you know, we're advocates for the victims of crime. I really feel that, like, you know, a lot of times the perpetrators of crime is crazy, right? Because a lot of times, and I'm not saying that these resources shouldn't be there, but someone can perpetrate a crime and they automatically are surrounded by resources. And now, you know, someone can be a victim of crime and there's no resources for them. And this is just the reality of it, of what's happening right now. And so, you know, in my discussion with Mayor Wilson, I can continue to encourage her. And whenever I talk to Executive Zahalai, I encourage him as well that, like, man, they have to be able to bring some balance to what's going on here, because victims are being forgotten in the system here. And believe me, hurt people. And if people ain't checking up on these victims, it can lead to other things as well.
Absolutely. So with the mayor, she's new, obviously, as mayor of Seattle. Obviously, this is your second time, I believe, talking to the mayor.
It's about my third or fourth.
Right.
Altogether.
Yeah.
But as mayor, it's the second time.
The second time. Right. First, I got a few questions to ask.
Sure.
And one thing about you, Omari, you don't hold back, and you're going to tell it like a TI is.
Come on,
so, number one, do you think the mayor's listening? And if so, to why?
Yeah. I would say in my conversation, I can't say she's listening to a whole city, but, you know, I can say that in issues that I've brought up to this mayor, and now speaking to the mayor, and you got to remember too, all interviews in studio. Yes, interview in studio might last an hour, might last 45 minutes.
But conversations.
But I see the mayor and officials all the time at press conferences, releases, things like that, where I'm always asking questions that might not make the news.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I would definitely say that this mayor has an ability or a capacity to listen. Now, is this mayor going to, you know, do X, Y, or Z? Because, you know, that's to be determined. But I think that we see that this compromise that the mayor has put forth around these cameras. I mean, she was backed 100% by people who were like, take the cameras down. But it's impossible to look into the eyes of these parents and community members who are greatly impacted by crime today, G. They're not. We're not talking about people who are going to be impacted potentially in the future through data breaches and everything else, which is a real, you know, possibility. but it's difficult to look in the eyes of someone who's being impacted today and tell them, like, yeah, we're going to take this camera down.
And I'm glad you brought that up. You talked about the surveillance cameras, and because I thought, and a lot of people thought, that when Katie Wilson ran, right, I would think that her supporters, right, really thought that there was going to be the potential to take these cameras down. And it seems like what Katie Wilson was like, okay, look, we're not going to put new cameras up right now, but we're also not going to take them down. Why do you think she did that?
Man, because, dog, leadership is difficult. Like it's transitioning from the point of being able to be a spectator and a commentator to actually having to lead. I mean, even in our own homes, we're critical as young people of our parents until we become parents, right? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? I mean, and so you get in there. What I'm saying is it very well might be that during Katie Wilson's campaign, she never talked really to the people who are the actual impacts of crime and the trauma and the layers of trauma and PTSD that impacts the neighborhood. Also, something else you got to remember, man, a lot of the camera, and I'm not trying to offend anybody on the take down the camera side, because, you know, what people don't realize, by the way, is I can actually speak about this. I lived in Dubai for 5 years. They got more cameras than any city on earth. So I can speak as somebody who lived every day. And no, I didn't just go there for vacation for 3 days.
You lived in Dubai?
Of course I lived in Dubai. I launched a TV station over there, G, at Abu Dhabi. You know, Clouds Media International, the first black, you know what I'm saying, TV station to go out of the UAE. Up there, Arabsat, 54 countries. You know, I'll spit this game to you. I used to go all around the bubble. Content district. Anyways,
okay.
I lived in Dubai for almost 5 years. I mean, it's crazy. I really feel how people feel. It's like, man, I can't do anything here. There's a camera everywhere.
Okay.
So I've lived that, right? But I think what happened is Katie Wilson, you know, I mean, during her campaign, of course, those weren't the voices that were being heard. But now as mayor, you have to listen. You have to hear these people. And you have to be able to balance both sides. And she's trying to split the difference, as I see. But I think that there's going to be more pressure, actually, to put in to actually activate more cameras.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say this. I actually, again, she's starting to. I respect Katie Wilson right now, and the reason why is because campaigning on one thing and then getting a job, and I feel like she is listening to this discussion. Yeah. And you said almost an hour-long conversation. You guys are talking about public safety. She's talking about, hey, we're not going to take the cameras down. We're not going to put any new ones up right now, but we're not going to take the cameras down. And this is from someone who at one point, earlier on, before she even campaigned, at one point she was kind of on the defund the police bandwagon, and to hear her come full circle and not have that energy, did that surprise you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So here's the thing is seasoned somebody like myself who's been, you know, in and out the last 3-4 administrations here. I mean, you kind of find that it's just like, yeah, a lot of things that guys are running on a lot of things that Katie Wilson ran on are like blue sky. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things are some things everybody kind of wants. Man, we don't want people to be hungry. We want people to be housed. We want people to be happy. You know, most people can agree upon that agenda and everything else, but it was the route, right, is where it comes into it, whether it's the route around taxes, public safety, and everything else. But I will say this. I don't think, to be honest with you, Katie Wilson is smart. I don't think that a lot of this stuff is just like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize. Now let me, you know, she kind of knew, I think, running on this, that not everything that she's promising is deliverable.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying? So it isn't like, oh, I've reached pushback, I've reached whatever. But I think most politicians know that. But I think what the difference is she is showing a willingness to listen, learn, and pivot. And, you know, to be honest with you, that's really all you can really ask for a lot of times from an elected official is what is their willingness to pivot on something? Mm-hmm. What is their willingness to listen to the general public, you know what I'm saying, and make some changes and everything else? And I just wish these people would listen about these taxes.
We've talked about that, and hopefully. Now, question, I'm going to get a quick question on the taxes. now that it's been, I mean, we're another step closer. Another announcement was made with the Sonics and everything, them potentially coming back. Do you think that if and when the Sonics do come back, you think they'll be even better and help businesses out with the small businesses out with taxes?
Yeah. Well, okay. So I got two takes on that, man. You know, the tax thing is crazy, but if the Sonics come back, what people should realize is that what makes the NBA special is the NBA is the only professional organization that's part and parcel of the culture. You got other sports teams here where the ownership tells them, do not go into the black community. Stay away from black folks unless it's a PR setup event. The NBA, man, any city in America, you catch NBA players right there in the neighborhood. You go into black businesses and, you know what I'm saying, uplifting stuff and everything else. It was such a blow. I know for basketball fans, of course, it was a blow when the Sonics left. But it was a gut punch to Seattle's black community because the NBA and the Seattle Supersonics were the only ones consistently, and you just randomly see ball players somewhere. They would just randomly be in the neighborhood because that's how connected the NBA is to our culture. So in that sense, I welcome them back like everybody else. And I hope that the millionaire tax don't run nobody off because, man, we need them here in the city.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't even going to ask you about the millionaire tax. I didn't get your take on it. What are your thoughts on the millionaire tax?
I ain't a millionaire like you, G. I'm still trying to work out on the service tax.
That's the second time.
I think so. Here's what I will say is this, right? Because I ain't researched that one enough. But I want listeners to be clear, to hear me clearly, and hopefully in the legislature they hear me clearly when I say this, right?
Come on.
So I'm not a millionaire, so I don't know a lot about the millionaire tax. But like I said last time, we are impacted by the service tax now, which means there's a new tax. Like if someone wants to buy an ad on Converge Media, there's a whole new other tax on that. So now advertisers are buying less. You already know how it works, right? Converge Media, right, as a small company here, when people say businesses won't leave, they won't close, they won't do other things, yeah, we're really on the verge of that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's an inhospitable business environment in totality here. And so it's hard when people are like, oh, these guys, they make over $1 million or they do this and that and they won't leave. That's because you're not putting a face to a name. I want the listeners to know that Omari Salsbury, founder of Converge Media, who many of you guys know, love, support, and we appreciate your support, is telling you that it is an inhospitable business environment here in this city and this state. And we are on the verge of closing our doors because of it. And so if you ever needed to get some sympathy and empathy around what's going on here in the tax environment, if you ever needed to put a face to a name, and like I said, I'm not in the millionaire tax category. My friend, we're far from it. But I am in the category that can tell you that if something doesn't change here, beloved community businesses like a Converge Media won't be here, bro.
You guys are hearing the voice of Omari Salsbury here on the Gee and Ursula Show, founder of Converge Media. We got about 4 minutes left to go. You know, one more thing about the mayor, and I want to just say this. Did you guys discuss any bills being passed when it comes to, like, one example that I talk about all the time is they need to get resource officers back into the schools. Did that come up at all?
That didn't come up, but you know, I mean, the city's position is kind of clear on it, and I think that what Chief Barnes was saying there the other day when he was here with you, right. Chief Barnes definitely an advocate, but man, that's the school district. You know what I'm saying? And what this superintendent and everybody's going to do. And we talked about this before, that, you know, it's two Seattles. The kids who want the cops in schools, the SROs, and they have their criteria for that, they ain't really heard, fam.
Okay, well, who are the people that don't want them? Who does not want school resource officers in the school? I want to know who they are.
Oh, man, we bring you a long list.
Do you agree with segments,
huh?
Do you agree with SRO in schools?
School resource
officer.
Man, yes, 100%, because the life of my child and the life of other children in the school matter. And you know what? We grew up in a space here. When we see SRO, you know what I'm saying? We grew up in a space where you had people like Detective Cookie.
Shout out Cookie.
Where you had all these officers, and these people, man, they would put themselves in the face of danger. Believe me, you know. And I'm not on some everybody. If you know me, you know I ain't on no SPD or police bandwagon at all. But the whole point of it is like, man, yes. Man, are you serious? My child and these other children's lives are precious. They're precious. How can we not try to give our very best effort? And the voices of those people who don't want the police in school, this is a valid voice. They shouldn't just be ignored. We shouldn't just kick them to the side. It's a nuanced issue, but if you to ask me what side I come down on, man, of course.
Yes, it is a nuanced issue, no question. But I think the voices that don't want them in usually go by trying to put words in the mouths of others.
So let me tell you this. Joy Hollingsworth said it best. She said that a lot of times people with these tragedies, people from outside the community come in and workshop their thesis and their hypothesis about what should be happening in our communities. And, you know, that language and vernacular is what sticks around. But think about that. You know what I'm saying? Even what's happened out there at Rainier Beach, you got a lot of people who are coming to workshop their thesis. Well, actually, it should be X, Y, and Z and everything else. I mean, you just got to be real, G. And what I hear you saying, I won't put no words in your mouth on your show, but what I hear you saying is the people who are actually impacted by a lot of these things, their voice ain't the voice that's really being heard. No. It's the voice. I mean, and that's why I said we're going to get a series whenever I come on here called The Two Seattles. Because that's exactly what happens, G, is that the voices of people who are scared of are always louder than the people who are impacted, bruh. No matter what, when you look at these issues, they have the louder voice. I'm fearful of what might happen with the camera as opposed to the person who's like, damn, the person who just murdered my friend and looks like they were on a crime spree is now being, grabbed on the camera, right? But the other voice is louder. You got this, you got young people who are like, yo, we got it on tape. They're like, man, we could start a chess club with the cops. We could do this and that. I'm like, man, I wouldn't have done that in high school. But hey, if this is what it is, it's what it is. We got it on tape. They're not listened to though, bruh. You see what I'm saying? Because the voice of what might happen is louder than the people what's happening. But you know what, G? I ain't gonna take it all the way there. We ain't got enough time. But you know what? When the people look like me and you who are most impacted, when the people who look like me and you who are the most marginalized, when the people who look just like me and you, bruh, that's when the listening stops. And that's when the people who workshop their thesis, their voice gets much louder over there at City Hall and county councils because they feel that they can make better decisions on our behalf, brother.
The Big O does it again. Omari Salsbury. I love it when he comes on, man. Thank you for that. Before you shout out to your Steelheads, you know what I'm saying? That's going to be happening this Sunday.
Right, that's right. So home opener is tomorrow. But the big deal for me is this Sunday, the Mariners are the first team in Major League Baseball history to put a Negro League jersey in regular rotation. And the very first Steelhead Sunday is this Sunday. The Mariners will be wearing the Steelheads jersey every home game this year. And they're actually, you'll see it up there, they'll be called the Seattle Steelheads and not the Seattle Mariners on home games.
The Big O, are you going to come back again?
Man, of course. Oh, is she going to let me?
Oh, yeah. Omari Salsbury talk a little different sometimes when we get off the air. I see why now. Hey, coming up next, Agree to Disagree. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
I'm waiting for mortgage rates to come down. You know, I hear that every week, and even though rates are a little higher than I'd like, VA loan rates have come down low enough that some people are saving hundreds of dollars per month simply by consolidating their bills into one VA cash-out refinance. Hi, I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage, a local family-owned company, the VA loan experts for 34 years. We love helping our veterans save money. One of our VA clients saved more than $1,200 per month. We can also help you buy a home with no money down. The VA loan program is a fantastic deal that you have earned. Give us a call and we'll discuss your VA loan options with honest advice you can trust. And we do conventional loans too. Search the web for Best Mortgage or call 425-649-6000. You'll talk to a real person, never an AI robot. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated, so don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart, just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Progressive's Accident Response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife, Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's Accident Response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
There's no championship league for small business owners. But if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation. One-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at Lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated, so don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart, just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Ahoy, matey! Is that a new phone?
Aye, Captain, that's my new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE.
You must have paid a pretty doubloon for that.
Nay, 'twas zero down from Cricket Wireless.
So, you plundered it.
Nay, again, 'tis a monthly payment plan with BreadPay.
You're shivering me timbers.
I shiver you not. Me first payment is next month.
Aye, that's not a plunder. That's a steal.
Get a new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE for $0 down when you pay over time with BreadPay. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Subject to approval of credit application. BreadPay loans are made by Comenity Capital Bank and Bread Financial Company.
Mariners fans, the 2026 season is officially on deck. And Cal, Julio, and the defending AL West champs are ready to feed off your energy at T-Mobile Park. Be here for every monster home run.
There it is, number 60. The magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Every 100-mile-per-hour heater.
He throws it and the ball game's over. Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Every clutch moment.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
It's going to be an epic 50th season, and you won't want to miss it. Mariners baseball, try to end up.
The Mariners' first homestand is almost here. Don't miss opening day tomorrow at 7:10. Cal Raleigh 60 home run bobblehead night Saturday at 6:40. Presented by Alaska Airlines. And next week's showdown against Aaron Judge and the Yankees, March 30th through April 1st. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
The deadline for filing taxes is coming up. Donate your car to Cars for Kids for a 2026 tax deduction. Go to carsforkids.org today. That's cars with a K.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Nate Connors. The NBA is one step closer to bringing the Supersonics back home to the Pacific Northwest. The league's Board of Governors voted to open the bidding process for expansion teams exclusively in Las Vegas and here in Seattle. Sonics fans celebrated the news outside Climate Pledge Arena, including Bernard from Germany, who started watching the NBA when Detlef Schrempf played.
And this is how we all watched NBA, started to watch it, so it would be perfect to get them back.
Alec from Cleveland knows what it feels like to lose a team and then get it back.
Being from Cleveland, we lost the Browns. We got the Browns back. It's huge to have the team back in the city where they started.
The NBA will vote later this year on whether to move ahead with expansion. Sources tell ESPN a new team in Seattle is a matter of when, not if. We're expecting to hear from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver at any moment. Washington's mail-in voting system could be in for a major shakeup. KIRO News Radio's Amanda Factor reports the U.S. Supreme Court may strike down laws in 29 states that count ballots arriving after Election Day.
Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna tells Seattle's Morning News the court's conservative majority appears sympathetic to challengers in a Mississippi case. Right now, Washington accepts ballots postmarked by Election Day. That could change by November. If your ballot arrives late, your votes in non-federal races would count.
But your votes, if the ballot was received after Election Day in the races for Congress or in Senate races in those states that have Senate races this fall, would not be counted.
McKenna says the Secretary of State's office should start preparing now to get the word out to voters. Amanda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
The Seattle City Attorney's Office filed criminal charges this week against the King County Assessor. John Arthur Wilson faces 2 counts of violating a restraining order against his ex-fiancée. Wilson was arrested last July when he was accused of stalking her outside her Seattle home. Wilson later apologized for it and ended his re-election campaign. We've reached out to him for comment. 5 days later, a landslide still has North 5 closed near Bellingham.
WashDOT crews had to take a step back from working on this landslide yesterday because of strong winds. Well, today the teams will get back to scaling the slope there to remove any loose rocks that could fall from above. Still no estimate, though, on when this highway will reopen.
That's KIRO 7's Dee Dee Sun. And now your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. All of our major routes are wide open right now. North 5 in Seattle, we've got that brief backup at the Ship Canal Bridge. And then Stevens Pass has some slush on the roadway and traction tires are advised. Oversized vehicles prohibited. All of our other passes reporting no restrictions. You're ready to be transported back to the golden era of rock. It's John Waite with John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band live at Emerald Queen Casino. April 9th, Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Increasing clouds and a high around 53 this afternoon. A slim chance of showers later. We'll have have perfect weather for opening day tomorrow. Mostly sunny and 55, and that roof should be open. 47 and partly sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Really appreciate Nate the Great coming in and doing all the good news and stuff at the top and the bottom of the hour. We'll have your text messages and words to live by. That will happen here at 11:47. But before we get to agree to disagree, I forgot to say something earlier. And, all this Sonics stuff, and everybody's been talking about it. Folks here at the office are wearing Sonics gear. The Sonics, by the way, if you haven't heard, they're actually one step closer. It's not official yet, but the NBA Board of Governors, they did approve a vote for the league to explore bids and applicants for the expansion teams exclusively in 2 cities, Vegas and right here in Seattle. And of course, we all know the Kraken owner, Kraken chair Samantha Holloway revealed in a press conference on Monday morning, along with a big announcement, that they entered in an agreement with One Roof Sports and Entertainment and to purchase additional equity in Climate Pledge Arena from Oakview Group. So that's good news. So my whole point what I wanted to say right there, Paul, I can see it now. Samantha Holloway potentially. It would be great if she could be the majority owner of the Sonics. And then my only ask would be that the head coach, that she go ahead and take away that head coach from take away the head coach from the Las Vegas Aces and make Becky Hammon be the first woman NBA head coach. Now, if it's not Becky Hammon, then my next request would be Nate McMillan as the head coach, because right now Nate is an assistant coach with the Lakers right now. He's chilling on that bench. So we love to bring him home, but my first request would be Becky Hammon.
Wasn't Nate McMillan the last Sonics coach that we had before they went away? Or he was like one of the last coaches that the Sonics had?
Was he?
Yeah, he was the coach for the Sonics for a while in the mid-2000s. I think he might have been the last one. It'd be cool. It would be cool to bring him back, though.
Why don't I remember that?
Maybe because it was during the down years.
He coached the Seattle Supersonics from 2000 to 2005.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Man.
Not the last one, but one of the last.
Okay. Good stuff. All right. Agree to disagree. Brought to you by Garden Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
All right, G, I might have the perfect might be a stretch, date weekend for you here. Now,
and by the way, nobody's better at events than Paul, but go ahead.
How about this? A 17-hour cruise, a one-day cruise, Seattle to Vancouver.
Okay.
And it's going to, so you can either, what they do is basically at the beginning or the end of cruising season, they kind of let people do these one-day excursions. They can join on some of these early cruisers. But here's the catch. So you get to go on the boat, but not everything's available to you. You get a great view of the water and you get to see everything, but you might not have a reservation. And then once you get to Vancouver, you got to make your way back home. So, G, would you take a 17-hour one-way cruise for a night?
Wait, did you say nothing's on it? On the boat?
You have some amenities, but some aren't available to you as these are limited for people that stay on the boat longer, or they don't start getting up and operating until the cruise is a couple of days away. This was from the Seattle Times example given. The spa, for example, wasn't open to anything but tours as it was still too early on in the journey. And a lot of the restaurants were all booked up with reservations and stuff. So mostly eating from the buffets or one of the one available restaurants there.
Okay,
but you can still swim in the pool. You can still do that stuff.
Okay, hold on. Before I answer, and the listeners answer, it's 17 hours. Mm-hmm. What's on that thing?
You got the pools. You got a casino. You got got to pay $20 for Wi-Fi if you want access to the Wi-Fi as well. So that's the question. Is it worth hopping on the boat?
Is there a spa?
The spa was closed, but only for tours, they were saying. So I think that gets going as the cruise goes a little bit further. So the idea would be a romantic night maybe in the cabin. The Seattle Times reporter was talking about they liked their view. They just sat on their balcony and kind of just talked and enjoyed the views as they were going there. But I would say it's a pretty limited one-night, 17-hour cruise that only goes one way as well.
All right, if you're listening, what would you do? 888-973-5476. Would you do this 17-hour cruise to Vancouver? You got to get your own ride back and the $20 Wi-Fi. The spa right now is closed. You said there's a buffet?
Yeah, there's a buffet.
Mm-hmm. 17 hours for this is not enough I can't do it.
No,
I'm out.
I'm the same way. Yeah,
I'm out on this. 17 hours? Nah, man. And you got to find your way back?
Yeah, so you could take an Amtrak train back if you were thinking, or maybe have something set up there. But yeah, you get dropped off at the port city, and it's a sayonara, see you later type of situation.
Nick, can you do this, bruh?
Anything over 12 hours in this case, I feel like it's just over the top.
Jesus makes a good point. How much?
Let's see. Let's see if I can scroll down. I didn't quite know.
I guess it'd be the price too, but I don't know. Actually, I'm out. $20, $25, $50. I'm out on this. It's 17 hours. I can't do it. I can't commit.
If I'm going to go on a cruise, I might as well just a short cruise, because I was like, it might be fun to just be on the boat for the night and do something. Yeah. But then you're in Vancouver and you're like, well, now am I staying in Vancouver? Is this part of the adventure? Is this part of the fun here? Let's see.
Give me one more. Robin and Graham says a hard no. Tracy and Burien says 17-hour opportunity to get norovirus. Let's see. Tina and Piala. Let's see what she says. Gee, regarding the 17-hour cruise, me and my husband and our friends did that years ago, and it was a lot of fun. We took the cruise up to Vancouver, and then we took the train back to Seattle. It was a great time. I don't know, Tina. Oh, okay. It was you and your husband and some friends. Maybe it was. Maybe you and your friends could go to Old Country Buffet and you guys would have a good time. That's cool to have those type of friends. I'm out. Nick, you in?
Again, yeah, it's just too long. I feel like even for 20, 30, 40 bucks, it's just, that's an ordeal to me. It's a long time.
Ella, you in?
I am definitely out.
$99 per person. $99 per person for the 17-hour ride.
Nick,
mind you, an Amtrak is $50 probably.
Nick, you in at $100?
That's pushing it still. It's just the time is I feel like it's just the bigger challenge.
Cool,
than
a
just the
summer
cost.
night though, or like I said, because it's limited. It's only the beginning and the end of the cruise season. So
Stacy in the 206. Done that 17-hour cruise, and if you get a big group of people, it's like partying that night, and that's it. But everything on the cruise ship is closed. The casino, the spa, most of the restaurants, and it's super cheap. I don't think it was more than $100 back then. I can't do it.
Yeah, and if everything's closed too, then what are you going to do? It's just like, I feel like you can do everything on that boat the same as on land if everything's closed off.
the slow trip to Vancouver, if you wanted to go up there.
Now, would it change? Somebody just texted in and said Victoria. Would that change? I will say, I don't know if it'll change, but it's a better chance of me going to Victoria than to Vancouver.
Yeah, because you got to take a ferry there anyway, and you might as well go on the cruise back.
Big facts.
Right. Yeah, because you have two and some change to get to Vancouver, something like that.
Okay. Text messages, feedback, and then listen, send in your words to live by. You know I don't got it. Next, Gee and Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
You'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters, a show that covers everything having to do with your home. Tune in every Saturday from 2 to 3 on KIRO Newsradio, where you'll hear from local business owners who are experts in their industries. From foundation to flooring, roofing and windows, furniture, and financial planning, it's everything in and around your home, and we've got you covered on Home Matters. If it matters to you, it matters to us here at Home Matters. Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO Newsradio, or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, real quick, before we get to the text messages, Paul got that down, but our good friend Stacy in the 206. You remember we were just talking about the cruise? And by the way, real quick, the question is if you would go on the, I guess, $1 each per person, and on it you get the little buffet, but the spa is closed. The casino, I think that might be closed too. But
almost
anyway,
everything is closed.
Almost everything is closed on the ship. But it's time with your loved one or your friends. It's like kind of a big party. So we're talking back and forth. A lot of you all said no. Some of you guys said yes. But Stacy in the 206, who has done it, she said she was like a party with their friends. She brings up one point, and I want to know if you are a yes still on this. They said they start ringing the bell at 5 a.m. to get you off the boat. Nick, you in on that one?
It's still a tough deal for me.
Paul, 5 a.m.
While I could do it, I think I'm gonna pass. If I'm on a cruise ship and waking up early, that's a problem.
It wouldn't be a changer for me because I already wake up early for work.
Yeah, right.
So it wouldn't be a difference.
Here's the thing. I'm okay waking up for work, but I'm not okay waking up like that to get off the cruise.
It is a different feel, yeah, when you're not working.
All right.
After a couple of drinks the night before.
All right, Paul, what you got, man?
All right, we got a lot of stuff. Hey, we had a lot of Sonics texts here today, but I wanted to give a shout out. There was one player, G, that you didn't mention, and a couple of texters that brought him up. My daughters had their picture taken with Slick Watts years ago. Unfortunately, big business for the city, but what happens to the folks who makes all these venues run smoothly but can't afford rent here, let alone tickets to go to a game?
Oh, I didn't show Slick Watts love.
Yeah,
okay. You know what? Whoever that texter is right. Rest in peace, Slick Watts. He never sold out either. That dude was Seattle through and through. Love that dude.
That's what 425 said. Slick Watts, his era of teammates should have family recognition. The pioneers of the Sonics.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to
And that shout out to Downtown Freddie Brown. By the way, Downtown Freddie Brown is one of the funniest individuals. And he is hilarious.
Does basketball have the coolest nicknames?
Yes.
Pistol Pete Maravich.
Yes, it does.
I mean.
Yes, it does. But wait, do people still do nicknames other than G for people?
Well, Jokic has the Joker. I mean, is that, you know?
Oh, yeah,
so
You got the Tarantula in there, too.
Tarantula.
Yeah,
We had Mamba. You know, so, but
the King James.
Yep.
Okay.
King James.
All right, what do you got, Paul?
TSA here, we were talking about that. Catherine in the 360 said they also have donation bins for the TSA workers who are not getting paid, where people can drop off diapers and other things that they need. And 425 says the airlines and the flying public stand up and keep talking until our elected officials hear the message. Quit playing the bottom employees as political pawns. We were talking about the possible moon base. 206 says you can build a moon base for $20 billion, and light rail to West Seattle might be up to $30 billion.
Who said that?
That was 206.
Fire text. Fire. Oh, my goodness. It was such a good text. Good on you.
Simone says, gee, the space program is a huge economic driver. That $20 billion doesn't go to the moon. It's spent here on Earth getting to the moon. Also, if you ever use the microwave or Velcro, you have our NASA trip to the moon in the 60s to thank. So there you go. I mean, that might be where some of that goes. I'm still not big on a moon base right now, but we had a lot of people for scenarios here. And I like this one from Chica Latte here. Contract.
Yeah.
Have to have a strict contract. Family comes first, but also if he's renting an apartment, the landlord may have an issue after 2 weeks. So a 2-week contract, and it has to be strict, and leave the girlfriend alone. And also, Leah Everett says, make sure to ask the girlfriend for her input before you have someone moving into the house there as well. So, we had a lot of great text messages from folks here today.
All right, here we go. Time for words to live by. What do you got?
And also from the text line here, this is from Theodore Roosevelt, but sent to us by Franklin in Olympia. Do what you can with what you have where you are.
Man. Do what you can with what you have where you are.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, Franklin. Appreciate you. Brother Nick.
Well, we all know our M's are taking off tomorrow night for a season with high hopes to be on top after the fight. But a curveball was delivered to the plate for us today, giving us a hint that Sonics might be coming back to play.
Seattle Supersonics are basketball bionic.
And we'll happily invite the legends for the dunks and threes because they're not your sibling asking to stay at your home for free. And it won't be like that all-day cruise with everything closed and a 5 a.m. wake-up. We'll give them a better experience than that when they come around.
Love it. Oh man, you know, I was thinking right about the Sonics and being a step closer. And by the way, I'm super excited. I'm super excited for businesses potentially and business owners and people that love basketball and people that just love. I mean, it would bring so much energy to the city. But I just can't think of, like, when you think about history and you think about, I remember when Amazon came here and was built here. I was super excited about Amazon being here. And by the way, shout out to Amazon. This is no shot at them. But when Amazon got here, what happened? The cost of living went crazy through the roof. Is that going to happen with the Sonics? Or are you telling me that the Sonics coming here, that the cost of living in Seattle will go down? I don't know. Things I think about. Ella, thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Paul, appreciate your hard work, man.
Happy to be here, G.
Nick,
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
You too, man.
Hey, the Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Supersonics. Oh, yeah. Supersonics. Oh, yeah. Supersonics. Oh, yeah. Supersonics. Oh, yeah.
Donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
file with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage.